Yo everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a review on something which is quite new, and it is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. This has only been out for a couple of weeks. It's not out in the UK yet, but I'm sure it will at some point. And I bought mine from Sephora, which ships to the UK in case you're interested. And here is what the box looks like. Typical Too Faced, cute, girly kind of packaging, which I love. I've never actually used any of Too Faced foundation before. Do they even have any other foundations? If they do, it's not really something that I've come across, because Too Faced, even though you can buy it in the UK, you can't necessarily buy all of their products, and not all shops actually hold the products. A lot of it you can just buy online. So when it comes to things like foundation, it can be difficult to try and get like kind of your own match. But I kind of did a little bit of research online, and I looked on Too Faced website to see what the one that I kind of assumed would match my skin tone, and the shade that I've got is called Sand. And Sand is a medium to tan for neutral to golden undertones, which is kind of perfect for me because I have got very yellow skin, and I am lucky in that this one came as an almost perfect match for me. I'm an NC40 by MAC, but because it's the summer at the moment, I'm a little bit dark. I keep getting a little bit darker every day. I tan in like seconds. It takes no amount of time at all. Look at the colour of my hand compared to my face, my driving hand. And it's so hot outside, so whether or not you like it, you're going to get darker. But I got this shade and I'm really happy with it. It's maybe a tiny little bit light for me, but generally this is the shade that I'm going to use. And this is your standard 30ml, and it comes in a very durable glass bottle with a pump, which obviously we love. And it's, what does it say on it? The skin you were born to have, which kind of explains why it's called Born This Way. It's like, oh, I was born with this amazingly perfect skin, that sort of thing. So I've been using this now for, I'd say, just over a week. I've pretty much used it every single day, and hands down, it is one of the best foundations I've ever used. It has gone into my holy grail bucket, and it's just never ever going to come out. It comes in about 18 shades, so there is most definitely a shade for everybody. And I'm really excited for those of you that when it does come out in the UK, you won't regret it. You are going to love it. So their claims, it says that it is infused with coconut water to delicately replenish skin's moisture levels, which to me kind of sounds as if you've got oily skin, it may not be for you. If it's got something which has got moisturizing properties in it, and you've already got oily skin, you really don't need something like that. It's also got alpine rose to brighten skin's appearance and promote elasticity. Again, unless you use this every single day for like 6 months to a year, you won't really be able to tell. So when it comes to claims like that, it's not really something that I'm able to back up personally. And it has hyaluronic acid for a smoother, more youthful appearance. Again, well, I would say that it gives a really nice, smooth sort of appearance. So I guess youthful would go hand in hand with that, because obviously the younger you are, technically, the more smoother your skin is meant to be. This oil-free foundation masterfully diffuses the line between makeup and skin. Coverage so undetectable and skin so naturally radiant, they'll think you are born this way. So it says, due to their consumer study results, which I'm always a bit funny about. As somebody who works in marketing, I'm like, yeah, but how many people did you test? Because it says 100% said that this foundation blurred their imperfections. 98% it made their skin look absolutely perfect. 97% said it provided natural coverage. 97% out of how many though? It could be 10, it could be 10,000. But anyway, my opinion on it, I agree with every single thing that they say on this. To me, it gives a very kind of satin to dewy, natural sort of finish. It has the texture of your own skin. I don't feel the foundation on my skin. It doesn't have that cakey kind of feel. It doesn't have that thick kind of feel. It is definitely a medium to buildable coverage, to full buildable coverage foundation. This, this is what I'm wearing on my face today, and I've worn it in my last 1 or 2 tutorials as well, so you guys have been able to see for yourself how it comes out. I just can't fault it at all. I think it's gorgeous. It gives a really nice and natural sort of finish. It gives a really nice luminous glow, which is what every kind of girl sort of most of the time they want. They want something, they want a foundation on their face, but they don't want anybody else to be able to tell they've got foundation on their face, as well as themselves when they look in the mirror. When you look in the mirror, you don't want to be able to tell that there's something else there, other than obviously blue eyeshadow. It's not like you were born that way, or with pink cheeks, you weren't born that way, but with perfect luminous and gorgeous skin, which is what this definitely gives. It looks like your skin about 100 times better. For those of you that are interested in that whole no makeup sort of look, this is the kind of foundation that you need, especially if you are somebody who needs that little bit of extra coverage. Sometimes full coverage foundations can look a little bit heavy on your skin. So when you want to do that whole no makeup look, using a fuller coverage foundation doesn't really help, but at the same time you're trying to cover those imperfections. So using something like this is definitely the kind of way to go. It glides onto the skin beautifully, perfectly. It blends amazingly. It glides on. I'll show you what it looks like, how it comes out. As always, I've got swatches of something on my hand. So that's just about one pump. So you can see the texture. It's not too runny, it's not too thick, it's kind of in the middle. See how easily it just blends out. So a little bit of this would go a long way. That was pretty much a whole pump. That would cover one whole half side of my face. But that's just me. It could cover your whole face depending on how much you tend to use. I tend to, because I don't have the best skin, I always tend to apply maybe a little bit extra more than other people might like. But then it blends so amazingly well. It doesn't have a bad smell to it, but I wouldn't say it's like an amazing smell. It's just a smell. I've had such a bad cold recently, I've not really been able to smell anything, so it hasn't bothered me so much. You can't really see my beauty spot that I've got. You can just see it's a lump, because obviously it's a beauty spot mole kind of thing. But look how amazingly that has covered my hand. And obviously there's still quite a bit of extra product because I've run out of hand. But you can just see how it glows. Once it dries down, it requires a minimum powdering, especially if you've got dry skin. Me, I've got normal to combination skin, and I'd say after about, let's say if I put it on at 8 o'clock, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3 o'clock, so after about 7 hours, I need to maybe blot my skin slightly, but it doesn't oxidize during the day. It doesn't change color. It doesn't look weird. It just maybe looks a little bit shiny, but that's because also it is summertime at the moment. I can probably say that if I was wearing this in the winter, it would probably go to about 8 hours, maybe 9 hours before I have to blot any kind of excess oil that has appeared through the skin. Now, even though it is oil free, I don't really personally think it would be the best foundation to use if you've got oily skin. I really feel bad for you guys that have got oily skin, because it seems like so many foundations that are trying to achieve that whole dewy kind of natural look kind of don't really cater towards people that have got oily skin, so you're really limited in what you can use. But personally, I would say that if you have got oily skin and you really do want to try it, use a mattifying primer and then make sure you powder extra on the top. I find that I don't have to powder so much over it because it just gives me that, even powder doesn't stop that kind of natural dewy kind of look that goes through it. It's perfect for a summer foundation, most definitely, which is why I've been loving using this so much. There are no claims about its transferability and that sort of things, but to me this is the normal kind of foundation where, yep, okay, if I do rub my sleeve on my face, it will come off. It's not as bad as like the Luminous foundation by NARS, but it's just pretty standard in that respect, just to let you guys know, in case you're wondering how easily it removes. But generally it does stay in place all day, and if I do go like this or whatever, I'm just so not going to. If I go like that or something like that, it won't really come off on my hand much. So there's no like indents and things like that. You can touch your face. I've had it on my face for about 2, maybe 3 hours now, and it still feels lovely. I can touch my face. It feels like my skin as well. Your skin is never completely matte. There's always a slight hint of, not tackiness to it, but skin feel to it, and that is how that feels. It feels like I'm touching my own skin. It doesn't feel like I'm touching makeup. I don't really think there's much else I can say, to be honest. I give this a 10 out of 10. It's absolutely awesome. When you can get your hands on it, I would definitely go ahead and try it out. It's pretty much dried down now, so you can see this is the kind of finish you would get. Again, it is quite thick because I put it on my hand, don't forget. But it's almost dried, and look at how that just shines, like with a beautiful luminous dewy kind of look, but without it being greasy or over the top or overbearing. So yeah, this one definitely gets a thumbs up from me. If you've got any more questions, feel free to ask me below. Other than that, I hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.